My name is Edith Prakash, and Jesus is my Heavenly Father. My father came from South Africa in the early 60s to India as a missionary. His name is, many of you might know him, his name is Evangelist Nataraja Mudliyar. My mom's name is Sister Padma Mudliyar, who is a current evangelist now in India, Tamil Nadu. God gave me a wonderful earthly father, and I loved him so much, and I think I had the best father in the whole wide world. Anything I asked, my daddy bought for me, and he was a great spiritual daddy. Every evening we would have family prayers. He taught me about God. He taught me how to be a blessing to those who are less fortunate. And most of all, he taught me how to read the Bible and pray and to look to God as my Heavenly Father. I had a very interesting childhood. My parents had 100 orphan children. So every birthday that I celebrated while my daddy was here was like a wedding, because all the 100 children would celebrate their birthday on my birthday. We would have a big braai and biryani and dessert and cake and just have a party. And one day, my parents were both evangelists. They had finished a crusade in Andhra Pradesh, and where thousands of people got saved. And they came to South India, back to my home. And suddenly my daddy was very sick, admitted in the hospital. And I went to the hospital, and my father said, "Don't worry, I'll come back home for your birthday, and I'll bring you a biggest cake. We'll have a big party." But that morning, my father became very ill, and he called my mother into the emergency ICU unit, and he said, "My work in this world is done. God is calling me back home to heaven. So I want you to take my 2 children and make them serve God, and I would like to pray for them." My mom was 32 at that time, and I was 7 years old, and my brother was 3 years old. They brought us into that room, and we prayed in that room, and my daddy prayed his last prayer over me, and he said, "Lord, use my children to preach your gospel all over the world." And that were his very last words, and he went to be with the Lord. And I came home, woke up that morning, I was dressed up. We were waiting for daddy to come back home to have a birthday party. And my daddy's dead body had come home on that very birthday. It was very difficult because being a girl, daddy is your first man in your life. He is, your world. And when I'm walking with my father, I thought at that age, I could do anything and nobody could touch me because I had this father who's going to protect me and a father who is a hero in my life. But as I looked at his dead body laying there, and as I looked at my mother of the age of 32 just weeping over his body, I knew life would never be the same again. I knew that all the fun, all the laughter, all the picnics, barbecues, the swimming that I had fun with my daddy would never come back again. And I saw his dead body, and I knew that my dad was not in there. When you sit down at the dinner table and your dad's place is empty, that's when reality struck. It was very hard because my mom was very busy in the ministry, and she would travel, always preaching the gospel. And when I used to come back home, it was just me and my brother. My dad's seat was empty. My mom's seat was empty. It was never the same. And there wasn't a lot of fun at home because my dad was such a fun-loving person. It was hard in the beginning, but the only thing I can remember was like my dad, even when he was alive in this world, constantly kept pointing us to the Heavenly Father. He said, "Jesus is your Father. He is a great God. He wants to give you the very best in life." So kind of I had this dual father in my life. One was Jesus, my Heavenly Father, and one was my earthly father. So the loss of my earthly father did push me towards my Heavenly Father. Although I have that void, whenever I go into His presence, whenever I feel like I'm missing my dad and I want that connection with my dad, all I need to do is just go into His presence and say, "Daddy, I need your love today. I need to feel you as my friend. I need to feel you as my father." You believe it or not, when I go into His presence totally empty, the presence of God comes and He fills you and He hugs you and He tells you how much you mean to Him. looking back, I can tell you today that God has done so much in my life, way more than what my earthly father could have provided. Anything I want, I just have to go and ask Jesus, and He has provided. But it was a walk of faith. We had to trust God for many things, but He never let us down. He's waiting to give you seasons of refreshing. He's waiting to give you seasons of where you can really know that He will go way beyond your imagination and thinking to bless you in the place of your brokenness. That's who Jesus is. He is your Father. He's a father to the fatherless. He will defend for you. He will fight for you. He will make a way where there seems to be no way. He did that for me. Even though it was my birthday and my earthly father was gone, my heavenly Father took my hand in that intensive care room. And from that very day until today, He has not let go of that hand. All I need to do is when I get sad, I just have to go into His presence and fill my life back with His presence. Back to that place of intimacy with the Father. Back to that place of knowing that Jesus will be with me through the ups and through the downs, through the valleys, through the mountains. My Heavenly Father will walk with me. I am Edith Prakash, and Jesus is my Heavenly Father.